Horn, and on the line right now we have Caterer to the Stars,
Yes.
Mary Giuliani, with tips on spring and summer entertaining. Mary, welcome to our show.
Thanks for having me.
Mary, it's good. We've had you on before. We love you. You have a company called Mary Giuliani Catering and Events. And how long have you been doing this? How long have you been in the catering business?
I have been in the catering business for 15 years.
Wow.
15 long, wonderful years.
What'd you do before that?
I was trying to be an actress, and so I always say, if you can't join them, serve them.
That's a good one. I like that. That's pretty good. And when you started this here now, you've been featured in Hampton's Magazine. I mean, the list goes on and on. People, Style, Manhattan Magazine, Real Simple, Elegant Bride, Page 6 Magazine, the New York Daily News named you one of the top 25 trendsetters of the year. Modern Bride Magazine awarded you with things. Biz Bash named you Caterer of the Year. You've been on TV. I mean, come on, the Barefoot Contessa, the Chew, the Rachel Ray Show, the Today Show. This list goes on and on. So where was the connection when you went into the catering where you got kind of hooked in with celebrities?
Well, I think for me it was transforming one dream into another. So it was, saying that actually events and entertaining, which I come from a long line of Italian entertainers. I grew up with my grandparents in my house, and we cooked on Saturdays for Sundays. Events for me, especially working in catering, was a great way to combine tradition and gathering people through food, and there's theatrics, and there's all this creativity you can throw into it. So I was hooked. I decided to leave the stage for the kitchen because it was a great way to be creative and to really do what I love, which is entertain and welcome people into my home and feed them delicious things, like the Italian mother that I am.
Caterer to the Stars, Mary Giuliani is our guest. Any relation to Rudy?
No.
Well, don't say it that way. Just say, oh, no, I don't have the pleasure. Mary, what came first? Because you're talking about cooking early in your family or helping out or acting. Was the passion first acting, or were you impressed and excited?
The passion was having the joy of having my Italian grandparents live in my basement and watching their Italian rituals that they took from Italy over to here. And so in the morning, it would start with my grandmother dipping her cookies. I thought it was so cool that my grandmother ate cookies in the morning. So she would dip her cookies into a cup of coffee. This was, the early 70s, and have a cigarette while she was doing that too. I loved the ritual of that, of her, doing that. And then also on Saturdays, I was so lucky to have this kitchen filled with my Italian grandparents, my parents, my sister, and we would cook all day with the music blasting and everybody being assigned, who's going to be frying, who's going to be stuffing, who's going to be making the meatballs. And so for me, I really learned very early on the enjoyment of the ritual of entertaining. And that's the love that went into preparing this food that can be enjoyed by like my 20 to 30 cousins and relatives and friends at our home on Sunday.
That's what makes it fun to have people come over and have a party and to get your friends together, family, and do it. And it gets back to family, as you mentioned. Mary Giuliani is our Caterer to the Stars, so help us out here. We mentioned, Eric brought this up, some tips on spring and summer entertaining. What do you have for us? Let's throw our first big party. What are we going to do?
Okay. Well, if we're gonna have a party with me, I always look for simple shortcuts. And looking for really authentically delicious products that I could use and display in a great way. So I was really lucky, and we're all really lucky now, because the best bakery in Italy, Mulino Bianco, is now has a line of breadsticks available here in the United States, which is really great. So I love the flavors because it's very pure, simple Italian flavors, tomato and oregano, green and black olive, and I make that kind of the star. So I do what I like to call my rainbow breadstick bar. So I put a bowl of breadsticks out. That's easy. We could all do that, right?
Yep.
And then I put various toppings and dips. I do an Italian guacamole, which basically replaces the cilantro with basil, a white bean hummus, an eggplant caponata, a red bean hummus, mozzarella, ricotta. So a beautiful display for my guests to arrive and see. But also, it's all done, it's all out, and they can just dip the breadsticks in, make a nice little plate that's hearty, and I can enjoy my time with them, which I think is really important when you have people over to your house, that you actually enjoy that time with them.
And people are going to take the time to taste the different tastes and flavors you have there while they're layering it up there on the breadstick. You got the old mixed in with the new. It kind of goes back to making the cookies on Sunday morning with your grandma. You're starting this off as they come through the door here at your party, right?
That's right. That's right. And they enjoy it, and it's something different, and it's something fun. And again, it goes back to that tradition.
By the
So
way,
I really
throw
love
them a
that.
cocktail, Mary, and they'll really be enjoying themselves as they
Oh,
walk in.
that's the number one. Right
That's
when they walk in the door,
That's
boom.
it. Okay, what's next? What's next here? Mary Giuliani is our guest, caterer to the stars. What else are we doing for our spring party?
Okay, so I say for dessert, like you only get one chance to make a last impression at a party or whenever you're having guests over. So dessert for me is always this big moment. Cookies in the morning were great with my grandmother, but again, Molino Bianco makes these great Italian cookies of all varieties, different shapes, different flavors, different colors. So to me, that's the work's done for me. I put those out onto plates, and then what I put out with the cookies is assorted ice creams and chocolate sauce, caramel sauce, and sprinkles. It looks so pretty, but also everyone's having fun. They're making little ice cream sandwiches. They're dipping the cookies in the chocolate sauce. They're laughing, they're yelling, they're crying. It's all great.
Now, do you do ice cream, or if you want to step it up, shot gelato? Would you do that if you're doing?
Gelato would be the most authentic Italian thing you could do. But yes, that would be delicious. Your Italian cookie and gelato bar. Be beautiful and delicious.
Mary Giuliani is here with us, and we're talking. She's the caterer to the stars. We're talking about the parties here in any time of the year. But you're doing a theme here on this, which I'm sensing is Italian. And I like parties with a theme because you can go with decoration, you can go with music, and obviously with food and everything. Is Italian sort of easy to do if you just get a few of these things like you're talking about? You've already got the dessert sitting there, you got the appetizer, throw a little pasta or something in there, and you've done it.
We've done it, and that's the beauty of Italian entertaining. It's simple, it's special, and it comes from a place of warmth. And I think if you have those ingredients, your guests are really going to feel that.
Eric, you're a big entertainer. Would you go with something like this?
Well, after hearing this from Mary, absolutely.
Yeah, and can you do,
Derek?
Mary, once you do, there's always leftovers and stuff, but how do you incorporate some of this if you want to do even something simpler, like a daily meal for your family or something? How do you go ahead and throw something together easy for that, for just the family?
Oh, well, that's even great. I mean, because, again, with the leftovers of this, like I'm looking at, I have this beautiful rainbow crostini bar in front of me. Chances are we're not going to go through all of this, so I look at it and I say, oh, my gosh, look at those tomatoes we have left over, and look at that mozzarella we have left over. How great to make one big, delicious breakfast frittata tomorrow. And I do even, I have fun with that, too. I put, you just make the frittata, you throw some eggs in with all these leftover delicious ingredients that you have, and then put that out even with a dollop of ricotta or some roasted red pepper flakes or some oils and just again, it's this. It's very easy, but visually it's pretty and it's simple and it's a great way to take the night into the day.
You've been doing this for 15 years, Mary Giuliani, and you have all sorts of clients. But we also mentioned you're the caterer to the stars. Is this kind of a positive theme, Italian dinners? And is there one in particular, a dinner party that you recall where this went over just incredibly well?
Yeah, I mean, again, when you always stick to what you do best and what you know best, and then the authenticity of entertaining with that flair. Yeah, I do. I remember that I did a dinner with Chef Mario Batali, who's the most best known Italian we know out there. And it was the launch of our catering collaboration that we have called Mario by Mary. And we decided to take cake stands and just put them down the center of the table and load them with just different pasta.
Give us your website real quick here, Mary. I want to make sure you get it out there. Where do we go for more info?
Oh, you go to molinobianco.com.
molinobianco.com. We'll give it to you again when we come back. Thank you, Mary.
This report is brought to you by Cologuard. Patients 50 years or older and at average risk for colon cancer now have greater access to newer screening options, including Cologuard, a non-invasive at-home stool DNA test. Last June, the country's preeminent preventive health task force issued